What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Beyond ARTV. It's time for another track review. Everybody's dropping them today, apparently. Got to talk about the new Lady Gaga single. You guys have already been asking me to, and obviously I wanted to cover it as well. I'm a pretty big Lady Gaga fan. If you guys missed my top 10 Lady Gaga songs, I will link that in the description, along with a link to stream this song if you haven't done so already. It's on iHeartRadio and Apple Music, so if you have an account with either of those, you can hear the song. So with this new track, I was kind of excited because I was hearing some things, some rumors, and then those rumors got confirmed. Tame Impala's Kevin Parker is working on the production on this track alongside Mark Ronson. Two names that are very, very solid, especially Kevin Parker. You've got his name attached to your project? Okay, you've got my ear. I'm listening. I'm ready for the single. Perfect Illusion is the name of it, and it's kind of talking about love, how it tends to seem one way, but then you actually try to start figuring it out and kind of decoding it, watching the relationship fall apart at the seams, and you're like, oh, I just made it to be something that's not really there. Perfect Illusion didn't hit me on the first listen, but the more I just kind of looped it and left it on repeat, the more it really started to kind of find its way into my heart. I'm not saying it's one of my favorite Gaga songs by any means, but she gives a hell of a vocal performance on this track. And I do love the Kevin Parker touches. You can easily hear that. And I don't want to say psychedelic because I see that term thrown around so much. I don't want to say that this is a psychedelic leaning track just because it's got those synthesizers that kind of loop and just kind of build up some sort of tension, almost feel a little bit 80s leaning, like something that could go in like a disco track or something like that. Totally cool with that, but I'm not going to throw out the term psychedelic or anything like that. I do think that this track has a little bit more a pop appeal than some of the stuff on Art Pop, at least in terms of like radio friendly, in terms of like a mass audience. I feel like that was more of like an almost EDM electronic focused record, and now she's going for a little bit more of like a rock and kind of a maybe even a glam pop type thing, and I'm okay with that. I think this song, the more I let it settle in with me, I think it sounds absolutely fantastic. It's super well produced. Obviously, some of the biggest names and most important and most credible names in the game right now, just producing this thing, co-writing it with you, and then just the vocal performance from Gaga herself, along with the lyrical content. It feels very, very inspired. It seems like it comes from a very genuine place, and I like how this track just kind of builds up. There's like that synthesizer loop at the beginning of the track, and then there's some guitars on this, which is a really, really nice thing to hear. I love hearing just like raw instrumentation and just seeing a lot of effort put into even things like the drums and that lining up with these guitar parts that work their way in and out, and that's not something that you see in the pop market all the time. So shout out to Gaga and crew for that. Overall, I am really enjoying this tune. Like I said, it didn't hit me at first listen, but I think the more I listen to it, the more I'm liking it. And I think that really people, even non-Gaga fans, I think there's something that you can appreciate here. Like if you're into some Mark Ronson produced stuff, or especially like if you're into some Tame Impala stuff, check it out, see what you think of the production. I'd be interested to hear in the comments section down below. And what, of course, do you think of the song as a whole? Me personally, I'm going to go with a strong 3.5, maybe even a light 4 for Perfect Illusion. I'm excited to finally see a new studio album from Lady Gaga. I always got so much hate back in the day for just being a fan of her. Like, I've been a fan since like high school, and I actually had friends that were into her as well. And they're like, oh, you must be gay if you like Lady Gaga. And I'm like, where does that even come from? That's the dumbest argument I've ever heard. I love all sorts of music, and I'm definitely a big pop music fan, and whenever something can sound like this, I'm on board for it because they're trying new things, and they're not just kind of following the status quo. And I don't feel like either it's like Lady Gaga trying to be super edgy or something like that, and trying to beat all the other pop stars by just doing something absolutely ridiculous. I'm excited to see what's going to come for a new studio album. Check out Perfect Illusion for yourself. Thanks for smashing the like button on my track review, and other than that, I will see you guys very soon right here on Beyond ARTV.